the earth changes that are happening, there's a lot of changes that are happening in our bodies. And this is a theme that I've seen coming up with a lot of the different plants when I check in with them. And they, when I've asked about 2018, and basically, it's this: the body is going through its own awakening process. And when I was in the redwoods this summer, one of the first things that um, I heard when we stepped up to there, to the one massive redwood tree, was that our minds are an outdated piece of technology. And we're moving into a time of something that's much more sensory. And I think this is also ties into the rise of the patriarchy and how they cut us off from our feminine aspect, and our feminine aspect as women being very sensory in our bodies. And so, because our bodies are this piece of technology that is so complex and so beautiful and so interconnected with Gaia, like you were saying, Lori. And so what I can understand is, in this shift that's happening, the way I see it is there's this linking that's happening between the mind and the heart, and this is what nature is saying. And so in this linking, it will look different for everybody. And as a result, some bodies won't be able to handle this transition as our cells are going through this process. But the more you align with nature, the easier it'll be for your body to make this transition. And so I asked, like, what are some of the things we can do to help us with the transition? And Lori, what you said is one of them. It's just being very aware and conscious of how you are with your body, how you treat your body, basic love and appreciation and attention, as well as it was explained to me that some foods, some people might not eat as much as they used to, or we will be called to eat more nutrient-dense foods. And, and so that's for everybody to figure out for themselves. But I think the big message for me is it's the time of having someone outside of you tell you what's best for your dietary choices is over. It's very much about tapping into what your body needs, and asking it that every day. What do you need? Whether it's exercise or what types of food, or things like this. And also, there was also a piece that came in about the sun and how important the sun is for us right now. We've become so programmed to be afraid of it. And there's some connection, what I understood, between the sun has, and not very much time, like 10 to 15 minutes a day if you can, but it's activating the cells, and it's activating this dormant information in your cells, and it's essential to not be afraid of that. So these are just some of the things that came through.
I love that, because I've gotten the same thing, that I have to be out there at some point during the day and get 15, 20 minutes. It doesn't take that long. And it doesn't matter if there's cloud cover. It's just getting that light time. Yeah. That's really important. And it's also, the light is stored in the earth. So even though the earth is dark and appears dense, there is more and more light being stored in there. So when I go out at night, if I'm walking barefoot, I'm actually still getting some of that energy coming up through the earth, which I thought was really fascinating. I wanted to pick up on two things. One thing was, you said that we are the earth, and When what I've been told is that, I mean, we know that everything that is in our body, all the elements and everything, are found on the earth. We're an animal, basically. Our bodies are an animal. But there's more to it than that, because this is our personal piece of Gaia that we carry around with us for this lifetime. This was gifted to us from the earth because we are of the earth. We need the earth. I don't know if you know John Young. He has spent 30 years looking at deep nature connection and community. And he said they have proven that we are physically, genetically hardwired to live in connection with the earth. And it is this disconnect that has been created by society and this experiment in consciousness, if you will, that has caused this separation that's causing so much pain.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if we look at our bodies as a piece of Gaia, it's our little garden to tend, our own little personal garden. So what are you planting? What are you watering? What kind of fertilizer are you using? What are we feeding ourselves? What thoughts are we using to feed ourselves? What beliefs are we feeding ourselves with? Because all of that affects our little personal garden that we carry around with us everywhere. And that's a fascinating idea to me, because some people's gardens are going to thrive and some people are not. And all of it is about what you put into it.